Hey everyone, this is Dan, the GM, bringing you episode 131 of What the Dice. Now, we are still doing our push for all the ratings we can possibly get over on Spotify. We really want to defeat that algorithm monster, because it is the bane of all small podcasters. But on top of that, I do want to do a random listener shout out. This one goes out to Luke the Orc over on the Twitterverse. I super appreciate you following and listening. And of course, if you want your own random listener shout out, join our Discord, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook. All of those I watch pretty actively. Other than that, don't forget to hit that rating button. And without further delay, I give you episode 131 of What the Dice. As we walk up the coastline, we can hear the sound of our boots crunching down on the frozen ice. Our eyes look up towards the storyteller's campsite, and we see two shining objects standing there. Their armors glint with gold and silver. As we approach, we start to see these two figures are knights from a local kingdom. There seems to be a small conversation between them and the storyteller. The storyteller stands and points his finger at one of them in a rage. The two of them look at each other and walk off. We continue our approach, and the storyteller greets us with a smile. Well, me friends. Do not mind the metal people. They are knights from a kingdom that has been requesting me to come and tell tales to their lord. Well, between you and me, telling stories to nobles is like telling stories to a rock. You waste your words and they learn nothing. But if you tell stories to those with open ears, something comes of it. Well, me friends, speaking of stories, the Alpha Team, the adventurers, Kalila, Faye, and Defibulus are deep in the Miranda, and they are running little errands for a certain Lucas Green, powering up a generator, dealing with a strange half-man. Seems as if things are deadly here. Let us return to the story, me friends, and see what else is going on. Sit back, relax, and hear me tell. In the last episode, you guys got deeper into the level that you guys are at, running this strange favor for Lucas. Yeah, I didn't think he had any more of his little minions down here. I'm sorry about that. That was a psycho. He's like us, but not. He's not from the Miranda. He worked for a man that was a mobster back on land. He came down here with his men, and well, that's a story for another time. But that seals that gateway or that hallway off pretty tightly, and no water ain't gonna get through that no time soon. Y'all all right? Off, and you are plunged into darkness. We come back with the group in utter darkness, hearing a strange shambling in the world around them. You can hear the sounds of water dripping and the strange ambient hum that you have grown mostly accustomed to, but now that there are no lights, it feels like it is louder. What would you guys like to do?
Did someone put the lights off?
Didn't we just fix the power?
I thought we did. What's with the shambling noises? Faye, are you shambling?
Hey GM, what time is it?
You don't know. There hasn't been an announcement.
What time was it last time?
You were still in like mid to late afternoon.
No, it was afternoon. Like, it was 11 or 12.
I thought we were at like 5 o'clock after we'd finished the generator repair.
Oh, because, yeah, that took like 4 hours. So it's 4 or 5 o'clock. You're right. I forgot about that.
Okay, so I don't think it took us that long to get through backstage.
So I want to have Kalila see if she can identify the shambling noises.
Actually, how many of us have low light vision or dark vision?
I do.
I do.
My human butt does not.
The second thing I was going to do after listening was cast dancing lanterns, because Kalila knows Faye can't see in low light.
Hang on, I might have a spell. If I've got a spell, don't worry about casting anything. Hang on.
Better than you see. All you see is darkness.
My spell list is way too big. No, I'm confusing my bard spell list. I do not have a spell for this, so I'll probably cast light on a dagger.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'm still using my earballs and casting dancing lantern anyways.
What type of dance is it doing?
A jig.
So as you cast dancing light, what color is this light that you're producing off of this strange lantern?
Bluish.
As this bluish light dances around and moves slowly and casts these long shadows off of these strange poles that have what were producing light now lay dormant, you start to hear this heavy breathing coming what seems like all around you. And then you hear the hiss as the speaker system kicks in.
Nah. I think you are working full, Lucas. I know you don't think I can hear you, but I've always got ears to the ground. You see, I was sent here to deal with something, and you're becoming a thorn in my side.
This voice is harsh and raspy. You hear something that sounds like a cigar burning. Then there's a long exhale.
Now, I know you're trying to help them down there, but you see, this station, it belongs to me. And, you outsiders, you ain't welcome. So, have a little fun, my friend. Bonepowder.
The PA clicks off, and you hear something lurch around in the darkness. And as the dancing light casts down a hallway, you see a set of red, flaming eyes peering up at you. And it is an infected, except he's wearing what looks like chunks of metal that have been adhered in some way to his flesh. You see these different injectors that are stabbed into him, that the depressors are up, and you can see the glint of the fluid in the dancing light. And I'm gonna need a roll for initiative.
26.
24.
I have a 19.
Well, you guys are lucky. The Bone Shambler, or so he is known, is slow. He is going last. Okay. Top of round, Kalila. And now that you get a clear look at it, you also see the reason he is called Bonepowder. His skin is white. Kalila, it would kind of remind you as if you over-salted a fish.
Dried out.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I'm gonna cast Grav Bow,
All right.
and I'm actually going to end up pulling out one of the arrows that she has yet to use. It was one of the newer ones that she bought from Mexi's shop during her I need to buy everything spur, and it is the Norb's Boulder arrow. And I'm going to take a fire at with this guy.
What does this do?
So it does only 1d4 plus 1, so it's minimal damage. But, well, with Grab Bow, it's 1d6. But on hit, if it strikes the target, it knocks them prone. On critical hit, the arrow spontaneously turns into a small boulder and crushes the target for 3d4 crushing damage.
Okay.
And he is, you said that was 140 feet from us?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, for once we're not in short range. Hold on, I actually have to figure out what my plus is. Does a 26 hit?
It does.
Nice. So then he will take a 1d6 worth of damage plus 1, and I rolled a whopping 1, so he takes 2 damage from my arrow. Oh no, wait, I get to add my dex to that. So 2 plus 7, 9. 9 damage from my arrow. But he is knocked prone.
Okay. I need a perception check.
From everyone or just her?
Just her.
25.
Kalila with a 25. You get that cat-like smirk as this guy hits the ground with a thud. And then you hear the sounds of bones dislocating as he is now arched his back up and is walking on his hands and feet.
Upside down and backwards in a
Upside down and backwards.
Yeah, Kalila's ears are just gonna go flat back as she goes, that's not normal.
Fair question. When is anything we find normal anymore?
Okay, that's one's pretty creepy.
That is pretty disturbing, yes.
This is disturbing even for what you guys have told me about.
Yeah, no, this is worse than the curse swamp.
I don't like this.
As it slowly turns to face you guys, you hear the as its eyes start to go wild and you start to see fire and electricity sparking through it. As you hear a hiss sound like one of those injectors going off.
No, I don't like this at all.
Before we jump off of Kalila's round, I still have Hugin and Mugen.
Yep.
And Mugen is going to take a small movement and fire his missiles. Does a 22 hit?
It does.
Oh, I'm surprised. Okay. Let me roll I believe it's a d4 to determine how many missiles. 2 missiles hit.
Okay.
The first missile does 8. The second missile does 4. And can we possibly somewhat see down that other hallway? Or could Hugin sense if there's anything coming down that hallway that is to our southwest?
Nothing is coming that way. I will give you that as a freebie because he has tremor sense.
Yes, for the tremor sense. Well, as a defensive, Hugin's going to... How long would you rule that it would take him to make a large web across there to prevent anybody coming through?
If you want to give me a perception check, I can tell you what you see over there.
14.
Just next to where he's standing, there's a large panel, and it says emergency access door. Right now, the lever is set to open. looks like it could be pulled down. It would seal off that hallway.
We might want that hallway, though.
Well, you can. This is a switch you can toggle. It's not just off. It's right now. It's open. You can toggle it to open or closed.
He'll close it.
A large metal grate slams down and locks, and you hear, "I'm sorry, patron. This access is currently closed for maintenance." That makes it the Fibulus's turn.
All right, I have a plan. And it's a good one. Defibulus is going to take out an interesting little box and unleash the box of insulting imps on the bone salt guy.
That'll be fun.
I don't remember this item.
It's in the miscellaneous tab. It is a pet. The curious box contains some very foul-mouthed, insult-hurling imps. The little bastards are fluent in just about any language and know how to insult in just the right way to get under your skin. Damn imps. The box opens and releases 4 imps that will insult and taunt an enemy within range. The imps have 25 hit points, 18 armor class, no damage. Damage resist 3, and effect is similar to Mockery.
All right, so you're releasing some imps.
Hey, look, it's a diversion.
Pretty much, yes.
Because that thing, in theory, should attack it, not us.
It's a psychic attack. Cool.
And does releasing a pet count as a full action quick move?
It would be your attack action.
I was just curious.
You would have your 5-foot step is the only thing you'd be able to do. It would be a full round, especially for it not being your turtles, because this sounds like you have to uncage them, because they are not robots. They are
True.
living.
I am going to go. I can move back 1 square then technically, right?
Yeah.
Done.
Faye, your turn.
I cannot get over that far.
You can technically take a sprint action, and it would take up your whole move, but it would use you could go double your
Which
movement.
is 30 feet around, so she could still only get half.
So that's 60.
But you might be able to throw something that far.
I can get halfway towards him.
And that would be your whole movement.
Yeah, the armor would let me get another 60 feet towards him, but not behind him.
Lure him in. Wait for us to get him into here, because it's a bottleneck, and then you can get behind him.
Yeah,
Just wait your turn, stay out of sight.
this is a good time to use some buff spells. I'm gonna cast Stunning Barrier.
What does that do?
Stunning Barrier. You are closely surrounded by a barely visible magical shield. This field provides a +1 deflection bonus to AC and a +1 resistance bonus on saves. Any creature that strikes you with a melee attack is stunned for 1 round, will negates. Once the field has stunned an opponent, this spell is discharged.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with Stunning Barrier, and I'm probably going to move over here towards the corner.
All right. Did you want to take cover and roll hide?
There. Okay. Yes, I am now sneaky, so that when he gets through the hallway and into the area, I'll be able to backstab him. Whatever passes for a backstab for this particular weirdness.
All right. Makes it my round. All of you see his hands start to turn blue as the ground beneath him starts to freeze. And he charges Mugen and slams into him. I'm gonna roll my hit.
Flat put my rat buddy there. He's playing defense.
Does a 34 hit.
Oh, yeah.
Max damage, so that is 15 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys basically see this thing freeze the ground and almost start to sprint across this thin layer of ice as he slams into Mugen, sending sparks from his own body out.
Like electrical sparks?
Yes, like electrical sparks.
So he's ice and electrically enchanted right now.
And fire.
Okay, that's all of them.
And now that you can see a good, clear look at him, his eyes are milky white, like he is blind. You see the fire lightning are actually coming out from like the sides of his eyes. His skin is just dry and white, like a dried out salted fish. His fingers are elongated and claw-like, and he is still bent over backwards and upside down, still giving this.
Yeah, Kalila's still very uncomfortable with this thing and is having like curse swamp flashbacks.
I'm gonna have to teach these imps some better insults here.
Well, they only travel 60, so they weren't close enough to do anything.
Still, gonna have to teach them better insults.
Top of round, Kalila.
I am actually going to attempt to use a new feat that I picked up called Rapid Shot.
Oh, God.
Do it.
You are shooting into melee range. Do you have
Oh,
that?
yeah, I have point blank. And I also have, yes, I have that. So I don't suffer that penalty. I've had that for a while.
Listen, I'm just trying to give myself some advantage here.
I know. So I normally get to attack twice. This thing says I get to also take one additional fire, so I get to fire 3 times. On all of my attack rolls, I suffer a -2 penalty when using Rapid Shot. But I believe it allows me to fire at least 3 times. I'm going to double check it really quick.
Hey, wait a minute. Do I have rapid shot?
You might.
Guess what? I do have rapid shot.
Yeah, use it. But I am not going to be using the boulder thing 'cause that did not work. I'm going to switch out my arrows.
It worked. It just didn't work like you planned it to work.
Agreed. I'm using my gator teeth. Oh, wait. No. I'm going to use my explosive arrows on this guy. Kalila is very unnerved by him. Why are you laughing?
Nothing.
I don't like you laughing.
That's fine.
Now, do I roll just once or do I roll all 3 times for this?
For rapid fire?
Yeah, for rapid fire.
Yeah, because each shot gets a negative, so it would be you'd roll, negative, roll, negative, roll, negative.
Now remember, your explosive arrows have splash damage as well.
Meaning, technically, you could rupture and damage the hull of the...
I was talking about from Mugen.
Yeah, I was
that's you.
thinking for Mugen. Alright, fine. Gator teeth. You talked me out of it.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, if you're gonna do that, have Mugen move first. Because you have Mugen and Hugin all going on your round. It doesn't mean you can't mix up who goes first in that round.
Strategically moving Mugen first.
Reflex check on him.
Because he's moving out of...
Mm-hmm.
Which I actually have a feat. Hold on. Escape route. You have trained to watch your allies' backs, covering them as they make a tactical withdrawal. An ally who also has this feat provokes no attack of opportunity for moving through squares adjacent to you or within your space. So I can strategically tell Mugen to back up and not provoke an attack of opportunity.
Alright, so go for it.
This is a lot of mathing. Hold on. First one's a 33 is the first one.
Hit.
22 for second one.
Hit.
29 for the last one.
And that is a hit as well.
Wow.
Your explosive arrow should do a lot more than...
I switched it out to the gators.
Oh, I thought you were doing the explosive.
No, you brought up a good point about the splash damage, and I said, fine, you talked me out of it, and I switched back to the gator teeth, which are normally a 2d8 per arrow plus 3 damage, but since I have grab bow, it makes them a 2d10 plus 3. 15 for the first one.
Okay.
29 for the second one.
Mm-hmm.
26 for the last one.
All right, you did some decent damage. This thing looks hurt.
Like I said, Kalila is not very comfortable with this thing.
That makes it Hugin's turn. I'm sorry, Hugin's turn.
Yeah, Hugin's not going to get close to this thing, but he will see if he can get a tangling attack on him. Pin him to the ground.
Okay.
Does a 17 hit?
Right on the money.
Ooh, okay. Well, he is entangled in some spider web.
Okay.
And if I remember right, Mugen can't fire this round because he fired last round.
Correct.
Okay.
Any other movements?
No, I like my range.
Okay. Defibulous. Give me a perception check.
Would be a nat 20. Which that was my attack roll.
As you watch this thing stand there and start to move around, you start to see where its back is arched. You see a bunch of those little cylinders going down its spine. Based on what you know of basic anatomy, it looks like there's just about enough that there is a injector on each spinal joint. Vertebrae. That's the word I'm looking for. And you also notice that some are injecting and some are withdrawing, almost as if it is like an engine. You also get a good look at more of it. You see where Kalila's arrows have stabbed in, and you see this multicolored blood just pouring out of it. And it is still chittering away madly as its tongue is hanging out and it's just clicking its teeth and it's just snarling.
I'd like to do an engineer knowledge check to see if it's running kind of like an engine. What would be the best way to screw up that engine?
Okay, give me knowledge engineering. Profession. That's usually
Profession?
That's usually the question you give me is right after I say knowledge engineering. You're like, profession or something else?
32.
It's not really moving like an engine, but it's giving you that indication of whatever it's doing is it's actually pumping and withdrawing the serums at a strange rate, as if it is running it like an engine, but it doesn't. The pattern isn't right. So, like in an engine, it would be like 1 and 3 are up and 2 is down. This is just more random and sporadic.
Okay. Alrighty. How far is ugly from me?
Ugly.
I mean, is Bone Salt? Is that his name?
Bonepowder.
Bone Salt, Bone Powder, Frosted Flake. I don't care.
You also have you can also do the vicious mockery or whatever for the your strange things. It actually does have a psychic damage, which is 1d4 psychic damage.
Is that just like an automatic thing these guys are gonna do then, or?
If they are casting mockery, that is what that's what vicious mockery does.
Okay, they should be doing that.
Yeah. So what we will do for the wisdom saving throw, it'll be based off of your level plus 10.
So 22.
Okay, give me a sec. 31. He passes.
Okay. That's fine. I'm going to have Defibulous use rapid fire, and I'm going to shoot at those serum bits.
All right, so it is a called shot, so it will increase difficulty. I will do the math on my end.
Yeah, I'll just do the rapid shot. I'm going to save that for a moment with different attack.
Okay.
All right, so the first roll is a 34.
All right, that's a hit.
Second is a 36.
Hit.
Last one is a nat 20.
All right, hit with extra damage. Hit with gusto.
Fabulous is channeling Kalila's just absolute despising of this creature.
Ugh.
Yeah, Chef, this is not Flavor Town over here.
Do not like.
I've only done one attack. He might be friendly. He might just want to give you a hug.
You know.
Personal bubble.
113 points of damage to his his back bits.
Explodey vials.
So, describe your kill shot.
Oh, Defibulous seeing how much this thing is unnerving Kalila gets very angry look across his face and just takes aim and unloads everything he has into the creature's backstabby bits.
The injectors.
Those words, yes.
And it slumps down, unmoving. A twitch here or there, but now bleeding out, its blood multicolored and slowly pouring down a nearby drain.
Defibulous will shoot it once in the face.
Kalila was just about to ask, can you shoot it again? Because the last one got up.
Double tap.
Please double tap that. And Kalila's also going to shoot one good arrow into it just to make sure it's dead.
Yeah, we're double tapping that thing. We don't trust it.
The last one got up.
Kill it with fire. Face sets it on fire with spark.
As Defibulous puts a bullet in its head and Kalila puts a arrow, I'm assuming heart,
Yeah, chest, torso, sure, somewhere in there.
and as Faye casts spark, Defibulous, you start to hear a very familiar sound. A sound that any person that has ever dealt with TNT would recognize. The sound of a fuse igniting.
Defibulous will just yell at them to run. Run away from it very, very fast. Run! Now!
Cat sprint.
As the fuse sparks to life, you start to hear over the intercom that hissy static, and then you hear,
Nah, that ain't nice. Taking out my friendly little bone buddy. Now, I left him with a little surprise. You know, the Kingpin always said, ensure to hedge your bets. I don't think you'll be getting through this pathway anytime soon.
as there's a massive explosion and the sidewall that it is near rips open and the room or the hallway starts to flood with icy water.
If there's another toggle switch for a closure door near where I or Mr. Skellingsworth is standing.
There is not.
Damn. Okay, so we're booking it.
As the room starts to quickly fill with water, you hear the static cut out and you hear Lucas.
I heard there was an explosion. I'm assuming our friendly neighborhood upper leveler has sent down one of his little minions. Where you guys at?
Theater.
A couple minutes pass by, and you hear the sounds of metal grinding as two heavy doors slam down from above. And you can see the water continue to fill up inside. You're only about calf deep in water that is icy cold. And then you start to hear pump systems kick in as Lucas comes back on.
Yeah, I didn't think he had any more of his little minions down here. I'm sorry about that. That was a psycho. He's like us, but not. He's not from the Miranda. He worked for a man that was a mobster back on land. He came down here with his men and, well, that's a story for another time. But, that seals that gateway or that hallway off pretty tightly. And no water ain't gonna get through that no time soon.
You alright?
We bit cold.
I can take care of that, but a little startled. It would have been nice to know if something like that existed, or that there was somebody who was working against you.
Well, he kind of flooded the 3rd floor. Like, there's no way up or down from the 3rd floor. He has damaged multiple doors, and we didn't think he had any access down here. But, apparently he has either found a way to make his little minions breathe the water, or he's found himself another route down. Now, all the subs out here ain't got no... All the subs, they be gone. When they evacuated, they took it with them. So, those that are down here...
What's a sub?
It's a sub. Submarine.
Nope.
Big metal tube with windows that have a prop that make you go around underwater. Yeah, I'm starting to think y'all ain't from around here.
I'm certain you're not from around here.
No, I'm from the Golden City.
Yeah, everyone keeps saying we're from that and we're not.
Hey, GM, can I make a roll?
Yeah, go for it.
Knowledge planes.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
You think about the different planes that you have studied, and there's no mention of any golden city. There's like the Golden Kingdom or things of that nature, but the Golden Kingdom was more of a fool's, kind of like the story of El Dorado for us. And it was mostly thought that it would be like down in the rat folk areas. But no, there's nothing in your knowledge planes that would indicate a golden city.
If I remember correctly from reading my notes, Defibulus had been making mention that, because he had asked them, what was the last big event that occurred when you guys were running the show, and they're like, oh, the Godsfell had just launched.
Had its first flight.
And we know that that's 2,300 years in the past, so we're already on the path of going, something with time is weird here.
It's not that you're from around here, it's that you're not from around when.
Nah. I think this is a conversation for us to have in person. I ain't got much liquor left, but I will go pull out the good stuff. I have a feeling this is going to be a conversation on which we are going to be needing many lubrications of the strongest variety.
Well, how are we even supposed to get to you? Our path is blocked. Unless we go through that door.
It looked like your little spider friend had sealed off the secondary entrance. That'll lead you in there. That's what you closed was the cleaning crews would sometimes use that to clean those areas up.
Is that going to be flooded, or are you taking care of that?
Nah, that ain't flooded. Looks like your little friend there only damaged an inside wall. That flooding will probably get fixed up by either one of the scouts or one of them, biggins. What do they call them, biggins? It don't matter. But, yeah, no, your little spider buddy or anyone can flip that switch, and that'll open up those gates over there, and you can pass on through. It's getting late. There should be some, areas where you can sleep. I will, tap in some codes and open up one of the hidden areas so that you can lock yourself in and be nice and cozy. If you see one with a pneumatic tube, let me know, and, I'll try to send you some soy bars or something. Some protein bars. Alright? We ain't got fresh food no more. That ran out a year or two ago. Not like we really use it anymore.
That's okay, I can purify even rotten food right now.
Oh, well, then, I can send you what I got. We ain't eating it.
So, you gonna have Mugen flip that switch again?
Yep.
As you flip those switches, those metal grates open up, and you hear a automated voice chime in.
Thank you for your patience. This hallway is now accessible. Please enjoy your day.
Look how polite the systems are here.
Proceeding cautiously.
as you proceed into this next area, it is a massive. You want to call it a park, but it's not. You see remnants of trees that have long died out, and their trunks lay down or are still standing tall. And you see bushes and things like that just laying there. And you see more of the family. They are dressed in these strange suits that are tore up and jagged, and they are digging through other bodies, pulling out empty vials, shaking them, sniffing them, tossing them off to the side. Some of them look like they're trying to rip open something that looks like a dispensary. And the lights are still off. There's emergency lights that have kicked in, so everything is, besides your lantern, everything is bathed in this green light. And you hear the sounds of a statue off to the east opens up, and you can see a room. And you can see from this distance, you see like buckets and brooms and mops that are locked up, and the room is fairly large. Looks like multiple orcs could sit in there comfortably. And you see a small security camera power on and start to move
It's like
slowly.
the scientists are watching us again.
I wish the scientist would have told us, weird twisty bone guy, explodey bone guy too. Jeez.
Yeah, they like to withhold information. This.
Kind of feel like we're being played by everyone at this point.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I almost trust Lucas more than I trust anybody else.
I trust you guys. Does that count?
Yes, we trust you too, Defibulous.
Oh, that's good, because I have the C4.
From behind, you hear the sounds of heavy footsteps. Are you going to look back?
Yes.
Yes.
As you look back, you see one of those massive hulking creatures walking up to the panel you were just at, and it pushes a few buttons, and you see a door slowly close. And then you see him step out. And you can hear what sounds like rushing water as... And then you start to hear the sounds of welding.
Can I have one of those?
You want one of everything.
Is that a bad thing?
I don't think you would fit in that thing.
Well, I'm just saying take one home and let him work around our place.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
I mean, I didn't get my clockwork guy from the Murdoch.
I tried to give you the rat. She points to Mugen.
As you get closer, you hear the chime.
The time is 6 p.m. The dinner buffet is now open.
As you look, you notice that the family seem to be a little bit more twitchy, as it is getting closer to what they would view as their active time. Right now, they are more of a slow shumble, but now they're starting to get that, like, classic horror movie twitch to their body as the night cycle is starting to get ever closer. As you get in, you see that the panel to close the door is accessible from your side. And you notice that there's a strange little, what would remind Kalila as a handheld spider, something what Hugin used to be long, long ago when you first met him. And it is standing on a button. As you enter, he steps off the button and the doors shut, and you hear a click as they lock. The spider tilts its head to the right, to the left, and then slowly makes its way up towards one of the vents and disappears into the venting system.
Is that mechanical or biological?
Mechanical.
Faye is slightly enchanted. Spiders are one of her deity's favorite creatures.
As you get comfortable for the night, the room is lit up in a dull blue. There is already a few cots that are kind of like pinned up against the bed that you were able to lay out. And you see another one of those monitors that you can watch what's going on outside. Is this something you guys want to do?
Yes.
Yes.
As you turn it on and everything boots up, you can see The camera is slowly panning right to left. As the hours slowly pass and it starts to crawl into what is now, you guys know, as the night cycle, you start to notice that the family become faster moving. Where they were at barely a shumble before, they are now moving with great speed, and they are able to pull off panels and pull out the injectors that are found. They are able to sniff the air, and you can find them lifting up these pots and sniffing around and setting pots down. They seem to stay away from the statue. They give you a good large 20-foot breath around the front of it, kind of giving you the indication of they know you're there and they know not to mess with you. As you watch, a small little black bar appears at the bottom of the screen, and a little dashing white line appears. You see the words, "Are you okay?" ? And a small, what we would know as a keyboard, appears.
Ooh.
Defibulous?
It kind of looks like one of those things that they had. Hold on, I think
The snakes, the thing with the letters?
Yeah, I think I know how to do this. He will attempt to say, yeah, a little soaked. ... Would have been nice to know people had exploding monsters down here.
There's a long pause before it starts to type out. He shouldn't be able to get down there. He flooded the 3rd floor. He is below us, and we have been trying to keep him busy.
Kalila in the background, as she's reading over this of this, and he shouldn't have been able. It would have been nice to know why can't you? She's just rambling in the background, yelling about how they're not telling her things.
And Defibulous will kind of chuckle at the rant behind him. He's like, so, is there any other people around here that don't want us doing X, Y, or Z because it conflicts with what they're doing, which is against what we're doing, so we don't get blown up and flooded with water like that guy just did over there?
Sure would be nice to know there's more people.
There's a couple pauses, and then there's the only two surviving intelligent and addicted is Emma Stone and Lucas Green. We want to consider them friendlies, but it's hard to say how long they will stay friendlies because they haven't gone feral. The guy, infected, monster, whatever you want to call the other guy,
He is known as Psycho.
he is some mobster from the dock line that was sent here to steal information, to poison something. We don't know what his job was. All we know is he has found a way to be controlling, but not. He is trying to wipe out all the other intelligent infected so he can run the show. And we've been keeping him busy with turrets, and for the most part, he keeps to himself on floor 2. We know that he flooded floor 3. He set off a bunch of explosions and filled the place with water before the evacuation. Hundreds of innocents died before our security force could seal it up.
Defibulous will type, by the way, this is his station, according to him.
Kalila's still screaming in the background about would have been nice to know.
There's the white line flashes a couple more times, and then it's the look. I knew Lucas before the evacuation. He's a nice guy. He just is gonna look out for him and his people, and I can't blame him for that. Emma's different. Emma, she was part of the Golden City's armed forces that they sent down here. The Golden City Guards are what they were called. She's called an enforcer. She was the ones that used to deal with the go-gangers and dealt with runners who stepped out of line or caused too much problems. I don't know what she's like now. I haven't had contact with her since the evacuation. I can tell you that I know what they are addicted to. Lucas only takes dancer and company man, and Emma takes strongman and stone man. I think that's why they're sane. I think those chemicals complement each other just enough to where it lets your humanity. I don't know how to explain it. The line stops for typing for a moment. Then it's look, I'm not the scientist you were talking to. I can't get access to the comms. I am just a low-level scientist. I'm trying to help where I can. When you get up here, we have a problem. There is something wrong with our main computer. None of us can get down there. We don't have the combat skills. I think if we can reset the motherboard, we can get this all fixed. We can get you out, and we can work with the infected, and we think we might have a way to fix things. But the systems keeps rebooting, and we keep losing information. Just please don't hurt Lucas or Emma. Just work with them.
If it was kind of chirps in with that, well, can you tell them not to hurt us? Because, it seems like everyone wants to hurt us down here, and we're not liking it.
I don't have a way to communicate with them. I only have access to a couple of the chat programs that are inside the maintenance rooms. I will access them if I see you get inside one.
So, what happened to the person we were talking with earlier?
She is one of the higher ups. I think she is asset protection. She works for Lotus Core in the asset protection. She's an asset protection scientist. I don't know. Based on what I have seen, you guys aren't from now.
Finally, someone who agrees with us.
And isn't calling us insane for saying it.
There's a long pause, and then a small image appears on the bottom right-hand screen, and I need an intelligence check from everyone.
Just straight in?
Yep.
19.
Dirty 20.
18.
All of you recognize it. It's the symbol, well, a modified symbol of the Institute of Extraplanar Studies.
Do you know the rat scholar? Because, could have swore I've seen that symbol before.
Yeah, that looks like Nicodemus' symbol. No, Kalila's saying things, so.
I don't know what a rat scholar is, but look, I don't know how to explain it. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. I worked for this company. They are not really a company. They are a institute. They study strange dreck. And I was sent here to find out what was going on. The runners that got me down here had to book it during the evacuation, and I chose to stay. I know this sounds weird, but I think you are in the past, and we are not from your timeline.
Wouldn't we be from your future, considering you guys had the Godspell launched just a couple months ago, and for us, the Godspell crashed 2,300 years or so ago?
There's a long pause. I guess that makes sense, but can you explain why you are the way you are?
Well, I was born this way, sorry.
We're just born in the world that we know.
There's the period. I gotta go. And then there's a sign off, and then you see a message pop up, and it says clearing history. History cleared. And it goes right back to just the camera movement.
Sounds like there's even a divided faction amongst the scientists.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like no one seems to trust anyone around here more than they can throw them.
How much they're injecting themselves with things?
Yeah, and which makes me ask the question: how much injecting stuff is bad for us?
Yeah, considering we've all injected something in us.
Well, we were told to use it in moderation. These guys out here have been injecting anything they can get their hands on for decades now.
Oh, but what's moderation for them? Does that mean moderation? Does that mean it works for us in their same moderation?
Do any of you guys have any of those injectables left?
We should, yes.
In the bag of holding.
Would anyone want to study it further during this long rest?
Yes.
Sure, why not?
Sure. I've actually got a couple of detection spells that might be useful, but
You've already tried detect poison on it and didn't do anything.
yeah, just detect poison though.
I'll detect magic on it.
It looks like there are little magic bubbles swirling through a void of magic.
Okay, well, it doesn't glow like if something was magical, but there's some kind of magical bubbles in it? I don't know how better to explain that.
Hang on, I actually have detect magic greater.
Go ahead.
What does that do?
It says, as detect magic, but learn more information.
Which injectables do you guys have, or that you are looking at?
We have health tech, water ice, bartender helper, jumpstart, laser torch. Those three.
Laser torch is an item.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I was right there. So jumpstart, bartender helper, and health tech.
I thought we had a sparker left.
I did not write it down in the group loot. I thought we used it for the engine starting
We did.
stuff.
I thought that was jumpstart.
That's jumpstart. Sparker is the fire one. You guys use that to melt something. Nope, you do have a spare one. You had one more.
We do? Okay, I'll write it down.
So as Faye, you look at this, you see the same thing that Kalila was explaining, except the darkness that you see is almost like a void of magic, as if there once was magic, but it was all sucked out. And you see these little bubbles that are, if you're looking at the sparker, they're glowing red, and there's that indication of fire magic in it. And then if everyone's looking at this, I need a straight, basically a luck roll, just a d20.
13.
18.
17.
Defibulous. As you're watching Faye look at this cylinder, you notice that the label has a little black tab on it, like you could pull it, and like there's more information on it.
Hey, babe, can I see that real quick?
Offering the vial.
Fabulous will very carefully grab the corner and peel it back.
As you peel it back, you see the list of ingredients, certified, checked by the Health and Research Development Team, all product owned by Lotus Core, a bunch of legal jargon, and then you see recommended usage. Do not use more than 2 times within a 8-hour period. If used more, side effects include grumpiness, itchy skin, tiredness, weakness, slow movement. Constant use will lead to addiction, and you will require medical attention to clear your systems.
Defibulous will relay this to everyone.
So it looks like, based on what you've read, you can use safely 1 to 2 shots within a 8 to 10 hour period.
So once to twice a day and no more.
Well, that's kind of good to know. So it sounds like everyone here really needs to take a trip down to Healer and get detoxified.
Hey. GM call. Will restoration lesser clear addiction?
In theory, but you don't know, because this isn't pure magic. This looks like it is a magic within a void of magic.
A derivative.
Ah, artificial magic. Kind of like an artificial sweetener.
Gross.
Yeah.
It's the Splenda of the magic world.
Oh no!
Using that's gonna give me hives. Okay,
Well, one of the side effects is itchy skin.
my god. Okay, I'm gonna work on that theory that it might at least help any addictive sensations.
You can always try it out on somebody.
I don't want to forcibly get anybody addicted. That's just kind of cruel. But should the worst happen, I think it's something that I could try to help mitigate anything. You know?
No, I met some of the guinea pigs out there.
Oh, I was gonna say that, like that. Maybe we find an injured one and we try it on them while we're healing them and cure them, and then they can be. I don't know if anyone here was normal to begin with, because you're living under tons of water that crush you like. Anyway, what?
Well, as you guys are arguing and planning and figuring out what you can do, the night slowly progresses on as you guys are lulled to sleep by the sound of zombie-like moaning and groaning and the sounds of what can only be understood as is just strangeness behind this sealed door. And that is where we will leave this week's episode.
The storyteller looks at us and gives us a slow nod as he slowly closes the book. Well, you friends, it seems as if there's another party in play, giving a little bit of information and claiming to know the Institute, but not Nicodemus. It seems as if time plays a little differently here, where the team believes this is their past. They believe they are the future. It's hard to say who's right and who's wrong, but it is for sure that whoever this man named Psycho is, he will go at any means to win and claim the Miranda for himself. Well, that is all the time we have for this eve, for the moon is high, and it is time to say farewell. As always, me friends, may the dice gods bless your every roll.
We here at What the Dice would like to thank Paizo for creating Pathfinder, Epidemic Sound for our music, as well as Sirenscape for our sound effects. If you would like to reach out to us, you can do so on Facebook at What the Dice Pod, Twitter at What the Dice Pod, and of course email whatthedicepod@gmail.com. And if you liked our little adventure, please share us with your friends and rate and review us.